Hey guys, Turkey's Clocks here with another set of NFL predictions. This time it's week 10. So we're going to go through these pretty quickly here. Tonight we have the Carolina Panthers taking on the Chicago Bears. I am going to go with the Bears over the Panthers. Their O-line's not really that... The Panthers' O-line's not really that good. DJ Moore is going to be playing against his former team that traded him for the first pick in the draft. I think the Bears will win this game convincingly because Carolina is kind of a mess at the moment. They don't really have that much talent. And I know they have Bryce Young, but he's been dying every single play. Their O-line is not that good. So I'm going to go with the Bears over the Panthers. The Bears will be 3-7. The Panthers will be 1-8. So, behind the Arizona Cardinals. So, the Indianapolis Colts take on the New England Patriots. The Colts are currently 4-5. So they just had a convincing win against Carolina. So they're currently 4-5, and the Patriots, they're 2-7, and they're not really that good. So I am having the Patriots lose this game. They will be 2-8, and the Colts, they will be 5-5. Hard to believe though, because only last year they had 4 wins. So they'll definitely do better than last year. The Cleveland Browns take on the Baltimore Ravens. I'm going with the Ravens over the Browns. Although the Browns defense has been playing really extremely well this season, I think the Ravens have been also playing extremely well. Lamar Jackson has been dominating that offense. He dominated against Seattle last week, and I think they can do it again against Cleveland. Plus, they have the home field advantage. So, I think the Ravens will beat the Browns. They will be 8-2. And the Browns, they will be 5-4. The Green Bay Packers take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. I am going to go with the Steelers over the Packers. The Packers aren't really that good. Jordan Love tries to play hero ball too much. But I know they beat the Rams, which, I understand is a big accomplishment because, the Rams kind of suck. And they started a QB that got cut 3 days later so that they could sign Carson Wentz. As for the Steelers, Kenny Pickett is just going to bail the Steelers out. So they'll be 6-3, and the Packers will be 3-6. So Packers are just not good this year. And neither are the Steelers, but one of these teams is going to win. So I'm going with the Steelers. The San Francisco 49ers take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. I am going with the Niners here. And I know the Jaguars, both of these teams were on a bye week last week. And one of them is on a losing streak and one of them is on a winning streak. And I think the winning streak both streaks are going to end with this game. The 49ers are going to snap their losing streak, and the Jaguars are going to snap their win streak. They're currently at five wins in a row, so this will put the Jags at 6-3, but they'll still win the division because it's not really that, the AFC South isn't really that good. And the 49ers, they'll be 6-3 as well. So I think they'll also make the playoffs. But maybe if the Seahawks can do something, then maybe. The New Orleans Saints take on the Minnesota Vikings. I am going with the Saints here. The Vikings still don't have Justin Jefferson. And He could return though, so they also don't have their starting quarterback Kirk Cousins, who tore his Achilles against the Packers 2 weeks ago. So, but the Saints almost lost to the Chicago Bears, but I think they can pull this one off against Minnesota. The Vikings have won 4 straight, and the Saints, they're currently 5-4 and leading the NFC South. So, just another year where the South divisions really aren't that good. So, but I am going with the Saints. This will put them at 6-4, and the Vikings will be 5-5. So, the Houston Texans take on the Cincinnati Bengals. I am going with the Bengals over the Texans, despite the Texans beating the Tampa Bay Bucks last week. C.J. Stroud had a record day. He had 470 passing yards and 5 touchdowns. And as for the Bengals, they beat the Buffalo Bills. So if they can beat the Buffalo Bills, they can beat the Houston Texans. This will put the Texans at 4-5, and the Bengals, they will be 6-3. The Tennessee Titans take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I am going with the Bucs. The Titans just suck. So, and I think they're 4-5 at the moment. Actually, no, they're 3-5. So, so they're not really that good. As for the Bucs, they are also 3-5. So they're gonna snap this losing streak that they've had. It's a 4-game losing streak. So they're gonna be 4-5, and the Titans will be 3-6. I think the Bucs will win this game pretty easily. Now we get into the 4:00 games. The Detroit Lions take on the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm actually going to go with the Lions. The reason the Chargers beat the Jets on Monday night was because they were the Jets and they completely sputtered at home. As for the Chargers, I really don't think they're that good. So, yeah, I'm not for the Chargers here. So I'm going to go with the Lions. They just came off a bye week, so they will be 7-2. I believe, yeah, they'll be 7-2, and the Chargers, they will be 4-5 here. The Atlanta Falcons take on the Arizona Cardinals. I am actually going to go with the Falcons. The Falcons did have an impressive game against the Minnesota Vikings, but the Cardinals are actively trying to tank, so if they lose this game, they clinch a losing season. They'll be 1-9. And as for the Cardinals have a very late bye week, as well as the Washington Commanders. They will have their bye week in Week 14. So it's not looking good for the Cardinals right now. And as for the Atlanta Falcons, they just need to get their priorities straight, and I think they will be 5-5 here in the NFC. But if the Saints beat the Vikings and the Cardinals lose to the Falcons, the Saints will still be in first place in the NFC South. The New York Giants take on the Dallas Cowboys. I am going with the Cowboys here. The Giants really aren't that good. Yeah, and they just got blasted. They got blasted by the Raiders. So, they're currently 2-7. The Cowboys will be 6-3, and the Giants will be 2-8. So, it's not going to be a good season for the Giants. The Washington Commanders take on the Seattle Seahawks. I am going with the Seahawks here. This will put the Seahawks at 6-3. So it's a must win for the 49ers over the Jaguars. Because if the 49ers lose and the Seahawks win, they'll take first place in the division. They won't clinch it, but they'll take it from them. So this will put the Seahawks at 6-3. The Commanders, they will be 4-6. The New York Jets take on the Las Vegas Raiders. I am going to go with the Jets, actually. I'm not really a fan of rooting for the Raiders, especially because they're a division rival. And even though they had a pretty crummy game against the Chargers on Monday night, I think they can bounce back and beat the Las Vegas Raiders, who are also not really that good. They're 4-5. The Jets are currently 4-4, so this would put them at 5-4, and the Raiders, they will be 4-6. And last, we have the Denver Broncos taking on the Buffalo Bills. I am actually going to go with the Bills, also because the Broncos are a division rival, and I really don't want them to win otherwise, because I'm a Chiefs fan. So I do not see the Broncos winning this game. This will put them at 3-6, and the Bills, they will be 6-4. So that's it for Week 10. We'll see you guys next week when we cover Week 11.